Hello, everybody. Welcome to, we're going to shine the light on Mr. Dan Street. Thank you for being here. It's 13th of July, and I've known Dan, it might even be 10 years now, and we've done a lot of things together, him and Mr. Ellis, a lot of things. I don't know how many businesses we tried, but we found a home, obviously. I want to say Dan was we had many emails. We had many autoresponders. Anything that we wrote, blog or whatever, that's what Dan did. He was also our personal banker. I don't think he planned on that part, but he had more money than I did. Let's put it that way. But anyway, we learned a lot. We marketed a lot. We found out just enough that you can't duplicate what you're doing. It's not true. It's a lie. So before I turn it over to Chris to introduce Dan, I'm going to play you a video of what it looks like in Dan's front yard. Yeah. And here we go.
I just want to give everybody an idea what's right outside our front. I'm walking right outside the front door. A lot of mamas, a lot of cows out here feeding. They've got their young. And if I walk, this is our yard. And if I walk over here and up, you can see this guy right here. He's saying hi to me, or gal. But they're walking. They got their babies with them, so I don't want to get too close. And a whole bunch of them under those trees over there. I haven't ever seen anything like it. Bugling. Isn't that cool? Okay. That about does it.
Wow. That's so cool. I've got cows in front of my house, but they have 2 legs instead of 4. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and we're going to rock this thing. Go ahead, Chris.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Marty. It's a pleasure for you to be on here. That was really like internet. I'm still playing. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, because my internet's bouncing all over. I'm still up north. I'm back. I'm here. Just I don't have great internet connection up here, but I'm real excited about this one. Not only is Dan Street a class act, he led an amazing career, which he's probably going to tell us about, which I can't wait. And just to see his front yard, because we don't see that much, especially wild moose. I believe those are moose, mama mooses. What are they? Oh, elk. Sorry, elk. We don't get to see that much, and it's pretty cool. So I would love to personalize and introduce this guy, Dan Street, who I think is probably one of the classiest guys I've ever met. Mr. Dan Street, go ahead.
Gosh, you guys are too much. This is great. Thanks for having me. And well, as most of you know, I'm from Colorado, and I live in Evergreen, Colorado, with my wife and son. And they're both early bird affiliates or founders, if you will, with OnPassive. And it's exciting that they're engaged as well. As Chris mentioned, I had a career just like a lot of you have careers now or have retired from your careers, but I had a 28-year career in medical device sales. And my job description was basically living in the operating room and consulting with the surgeon through a procedure, whatever it might be. And we provided instrumentation and implants for joint replacement surgery and most trauma-related type fractures and surgeries where bone fractures are involved. So I did not have any formal medical education. So I had connections in the industry, and I used them to get in front of the right people to secure the job. And one side note is that I really do admire everybody that can speak more than one language. I think it would be amazing to be bilingual, but I'm not. And then I started thinking about it. I realized that I did have to learn another language to communicate effectively with the orthopedic surgeons I worked with. I had to learn anatomy. I had to learn bone biology. I had to discuss features and benefits of products that directly related to one part of the body. And if I was appeared to be kind of an idiot in that respect, those guys would never talk to me again. So the bottom line, it was a rewarding career, but as you can imagine, it had a lot of stress. And my adrenaline level was up and down. I'd go into surgery, my adrenaline's pumping and pumping and pumping, and then after it was over, it'd go down. So it was a big roller coaster ride. Probably not the best thing for my health, but my time, the frustrating part of it is my time was not my own. I was always on call. When somebody fell down and broke a bone, I had to be there if it was one of my doctors. So there was a lot of stress, and I always thought that there had to be an alternative way to generate income to gain maybe some time freedom. So I was continually, years and years and years, continually joined network marketing, MLM type companies, hoping that I could replace my income. And I made some money. Some of these companies, as we all discuss all the time, some of these companies have very, very good products. But as far as promoting it and being able to promoting those products and being able to generate an income that could replace my existing income and sustain me and gain time freedom, they just weren't there. The business model wasn't set up for that. So most of these companies, as most of you have experienced, you end up spending more money than you make. And 98% of us have had this similar experience. And we've had to learn that the business model just wasn't the recipe for sustained growth and financial freedom. So, as most of you know, I think all of you know that my partners in crime for many of these ventures were Marty DeGarmo and Mike Ellis. And we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun developing a template together where each of us could use our strengths to generate traffic and affiliates for whatever business we were in. And it worked great. We built big teams, but it wasn't sustainable because either the company failed or the people quit. And we weren't, because of the fact that they weren't able to recruit new people into the business to be able to generate enough income to make it an effective way to earn a living. So these companies failed, and we are constantly looking. And then fast forward now to OnPassive, and it was an entirely different ballgame. We use many of the same methods and the same skills that we have, but we refined them a little bit and made them even more efficient. Now, Mike Ellis, as you know, he also lives in Colorado, and Mike and I have been good friends for, believe it or not, over 50 years. I mean, we've done a lot of stuff together. We have a lot of great experiences together, and we're great friends. And he developed an incredible ability, as most of you know, to produce instructional videos and make the complex very simple. His videos really had an amazing impact in helping many of you understand OnPassive. And he's just been a tremendous asset to our team. And then Marty, as you know, is our marketing genius. He knows how to generate leads and guide people through a series of messages to give them to give us their contact information. And they're giving us their contact information. They don't even know what company it's with, and they end up joining our business. But this had to include a series of follow-up autoresponder messages to stay in constant communication with these people. So the statistics have shown that it takes up to 7 messages for someone to finally pull the trigger and join your opportunity. So this was my job, along with assisting with the advertising campaigns. And we had to, I'll tell you, we had to learn Aweber And Aweber, once you get it, Aweber is an auto-responding system where you have to plug in your messages to follow up with whoever is your lead, whoever responded to you, whoever logged in, and whoever got into your business. You have to keep in touch with them. And so we learned the autoresponders. We built the autoresponders. Now those autoresponders could have included me doing a brief message and then linking a video to say, watch this short video from Mike Ellis for further information, or it might just include a short, brief communication to bring them along, tell them a story, and bring them along into our opportunity. So this system worked mainly because OnPassive continued to expand. But as Ash told us the other day, this type of marketing, it kind of surprised me. I just kind of go, whoa, it's no longer effective. He said, we have to rethink the game of handling leads and marketing. And when Ash said, when he first started OnPassive, he had sources to give us traffic, but the effectiveness is not the same. Because of this, the gap from the beginning of OnPassive to now, it has allowed new ideas for gathering traffic. And I'm so excited to learn what these new ideas are. And our marketing and traffic game is completely changed. No other company has what we have. He has a solution. So we will own this space. And those are the positive things you've got to understand about OnPassive. And we will own this space, and it's have an incredible impact, long-term success of OnPassive. So in conclusion here, I was reminded of a couple of important verses in Scripture, and it appears twice in the New Testament: Luke 14:11 and Matthew 23:12. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. And I'll tell you, over the last several weeks, Ash has humbled himself. He's admitted that mistakes have been made, but he has persevered, and he's taken control of this company, and the path forward is even better than it was. So those of us and those of you who believe, we're in a really good place. Back to you guys.
Wow. Okay, Dan, I loved it. You brought up some really good points that I'll touch on real quick, and then I'll hand it over to Marty. The language barrier, that was pretty good definition about what you had to go through. And I want to let a lot of people know that, Dan sounds like he had an exciting job, but you can hear him. He was on call constantly. And it drove him nuts. And I don't think there's anyone out here in this world today that isn't always looking for a better way because of their job. At first it's exciting. Dan put a lot of work to get where he got and what he had to do. But, sooner or later we all realize is, man, all my time is going toward my job and I don't really have time to do a lot of things. And then bringing into OnPassive, the time freedom that Ash is going to free up for every one of us. And then you go to the traffic. Years ago, I had a website. And I won't even talk about that. I'm going to talk to a lady I talked to up north. She said, I spent almost 2 months building a website, understanding everything about it. And then I put it up there, and she said that no one was there. No one knew about it. And that's the traffic that Dan was talking about. When I had a website years ago for my baby flags, I realized I had to spend 5 to 6 hours every single night typing, sending emails to other companies that were in the same field as me saying, listen, you share my post, I'll share yours. And that's how you build traffic. That's how we did it. And it took hours and hours. And after 2 or 3 weeks, you might have had maybe 10 or 15 companies. And it was a lot of people. I think in people's minds, Dan and Marty, they think, I'm going to make a website. Oh my God, I'm going to be there. And it really doesn't work that way. And then to find out, because I understood that part. When Ash said, I can drive traffic to anybody, and he showed examples back in the day, 10,000 hits, 1 million clicks or whatever it was called. And I was like, wow, man, I wish I would have seen this before I would even thought about building a website. But then you come in OnPassive and realize they're going to build websites. They're going to run the traffic. They're going to do the marketing. And that's a pretty good deal. that's a pretty good deal. So, Dan, you touched on a lot of really great points. I see a lot of great comments going on about you. I appreciate you, brother, because, and I say this, I look at someone like you. I was an auto worker, nothing big, but you were in a very important field of what you were doing. And I'm thinking, what the heck does this guy need Unpassive for? And then I realized that really everyone needs a passive because how you explained it. I was on call. I had to do this. I had to be there. And my life was really just about work. Unpassive, how Dan explains it, took a whole new turn. Hey, no. Let us do all this for you and you go enjoy that stuff. You're not going to be on call, Mr. Dan. You're not going to have to tell your wife, no, honey, I got to go to the hospital. None of that stuff. You're going to sit back, enjoy those beautiful elk running around your property, and enjoy life. And that's what a lot of us miss. We think, oh man, and I know we had to work 28 to plus 30 years to get where we're at today. And guess what? It's still not enough because you did all that work. It's 30 years. And Ash said once, Chris wasted 30 years. And I had to agree with him because that job kept my mind locked. This is it. This is it. That's all I got. And then Unpassive came along. So Dan, thank you. I'm going to turn it back to Marty. And like I said, I'll say it again. Dan is one of the most classiest guys I've ever met. But then again, I hang out with Marty, so he don't have much competition. Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah. I remember some of the days that we would be working and Dan would get a call. A couple times he left the phone on. And Dan sounded like the surgeon. I remember that. And he came back. I said, what the freak? He's looking at x-rays. No, I think you need to do this and do that. And I went, holy cow. But many times he would have to go. I mean, I got to go. Always on call. And then he had that one crazy older doctor that he worked forever. Remember, he'd call you every time. Like there was no time off. No matter what that guy made, right. He had no freedom. But yeah, I remember all that. And the part that Dan really, really helped is when you're making emails, we decided we're going to tell a story. You have to say a little bit about the email that you just got and now about the new email. And you're slowly bringing people in down this path. And like Dan said, we never mentioned Unpassive because I don't want people to go Google or whatever they're going to do. But it worked out well, very well because we all found our lane. I found out I'm not the guy that needs to be writing emails. We both know it's not Mike. Okay. And so Mike started doing videos. It just turned out perfect. But the plus that happened to me because of what we did, and Dan too, and Mike would tell you the same, because of what we did, for all the years we did it, we can really appreciate Unpassive. I get it. It's that piece that was missing, a big piece that was missing. Because now, even if I make a short or we create a little video page in Oak Create down the road, you could take that and give it to someone else. They put their video in it. They put their call to action. You're done. And have traffic driven by the company. That's unbelievable. That this company's going to explode just from what I see in those little things like that. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and that's why I don't need to be sold on Unpassive. Definitely.
You did.
And what's that?
One important thing. These three gentlemen here, who I call gentlemen, have never physically met. They've trusted each other through online, through videos, but they've never physically met each other, Marty, Red, and Dan.
Mike and I have met each other.
Yeah, Mike and Dan. Yeah. Marty, they just keep Marty on the cliff over there.
Yeah.
They've never met Marty. So that's pretty interesting to trust someone like that.
Well, that's last night when they talked about trust on Oran. Our whole thing was trust because we didn't. I mean, Dan gave me his credit card to go to run ads because my site got kicked down for life because I was manipulating Facebook, believe it or not. So I had to go on Dan's account and create the ads. That's how it went because they still won't let me do anything. But anyway, yeah, it all turned out. But trust was a major issue, major. But anyway, no, I'm glad we're here. Dan, that was unbelievable, but I knew it would be. Um, and he knows I appreciate all what we've done together because I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I was able to soar in whatever lane I was in. Dan did what he was in. We learned a little bit about each other, and it worked. We never market. We stopped marketing in 2020. We could have kept going, but we didn't. We stopped, and then we did a little bit this last summer, just to see the dip, what we could do, and we can. But with what Ash got coming, if Ash was sending out 80 million emails, even the old style, I don't know anybody that's done that. No one. And if he's got something that's better than that, and like he said, emails don't open that much. The open rate is horrible. We started using SMS where you send a text because they open those up more. But we had like 3 or 4 apps, 5 or 6 different things to get one product done. And they had to go in and we had to mix stuff. It was a mess. We put Band-Aids and tape and had places going different places, and it was a maze of craziness. But now we're in a place where everything's organized. We have a guy that has built a custom business that would work for him, scaled so it works for everyone. That is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Because I guarantee the headaches that Mr. Mufara goes to, and the darts and arrows and gunshots and dynamite and cow manure he's walking through every day would be a lot less if he didn't pull the founders with him. That's a guarantee. And all these different, he could have did this just with his family, and I believe be the richest man in the world. No doubt about it. But instead, he shared it with everybody. All the easy stuff is we collect. He does all the work. Pretty good option. Anyway, that's all I have. If you guys want to say a closing thing, that would be great. Dan, go ahead.
Well, just thanks for having me, and everybody just enjoy this process and just keep the faith because it's coming.
Mr. Internet?
Mr. Internet, yeah, my internet's bouncing. Yeah, I want to say personally thank you again, Dan, for coming on. It shows we're doing this not only to bring people out, but to show different backgrounds of, why would Dan come in doing passive? And he explained it perfect. I think everything can relate to that. So that's why we're doing this, just to show people of different backgrounds, whether you were an auto worker or you were in the medical field. That we have people that are amazing in here with careers like oh my God, this guy's got a great career. Because time and freedom, buddy. Remember that. Marty DeGarmo, back to you.
All right, we're going to close it out. See you, everybody. Thank you, everyone that came on. I knew it was going to be exciting. The comments are going by so fast, I can't even read them. But thank you very much. They're all positives, the ones I'm catching. Thanks, everybody. I know one thing, if I had a pool, I'd go swimming. All right, Lister, if they're watching, she hates that. All right, anyway, I'll see you guys. Thank you.